Good afternoon, this is Lynn Courage from The Life Connection, and I just wanted to hop in fresh from one of my group sessions because a topic came up which is completely relevant to the relationship theme and focus for this month. As you know, one of the reasons that I've chosen relationships as my focus, moving on from self-love, which is like the foundation of everything, and is exceptionally relevant when it comes to relationships, is that over the Christmas period, expectations and emotions tend to run that much higher, and we therefore tend to experience far more conflict than we might do ordinarily. And conflict is what came up today. And I just wanted to share a perspective, my philosophy on how to approach an argument, and more precisely how to approach finding a peaceful resolution following an argument. Because what I tend to find through my coaching sessions, speaking with my clients, what we do is we just allow arguments to be brushed under the carpet. So if you've had an argument with your partner, your husband, it's easy for life to just take over, and all that hurt, that pain, that frustration is just, it fizzles out and life becomes okay again until the time that it doesn't. But the reason that we don't deal with that conflict there and then is for the fear of the repercussions of the conflict. And it's often because we are seated in a limiting belief about ourselves, which is why we were hurt in the first place, why that argument was painful in the first place, because it ruptures an existing wound, a feeling of, oh, it's always my fault. And this was the perspective that we were talking about in the group coaching today. And I want to encourage you, rather than allowing an argument to be brushed under the carpet, rather than approaching an argument, the resolution of an argument from the perspective of the conflict itself, is actually to approach it from the perspective of the outcome that you are looking for. When we're rooted in the hurt and the pain, it's easy to approach a conversation from the you did this, you did that, I felt like this. It's not a peaceful approach. It's not a constructive approach. That's not to say that your feelings and perspectives aren't valid, but if your the resolution that you're seeking is one of a happy relationship, then it makes it hard to open up a conversation from that place. So, because the resolution that we're often seeking, this is the think tank, by the way, I just thought it might be helpful just to illustrate what I'm talking about. If the situation is a conflict, our thoughts about that conflict are often, how could he have spoken to me like that? How could he have behaved in that way? He always makes out it's my fault. It's always my fault. They don't tend to be very, very empowering thoughts. And that's the next step, right, is to notice the emotion that we feel as a result of that thought process. And it's so often so unhelpful. If the emotion becomes anger or sadness, it does not make way for the action of a positive conversation, a constructive conversation, which would lead to the happiness that you seek. So let me just illustrate this. If this is happiness, which will obviously have a positive impact on that original conflict, we're looking to break cycles, because I promise you, if it's happened once, it's happened before, and it will happen again. We live in patterns and cycles, and you can break them when you notice what they are. If the result that you're looking for is happiness, then maybe the action that comes before that is to talk, and maybe even to listen. It's very hard to listen when we're rooted in anger and frustration, because it's our point of view that we want to have heard. So in order to be able to have that connection in your relationship, to find a resolution to that argument, rather than allowing it to be brushed under the carpet, how do you need to feel? Maybe calm and in control. Just as an example, the think tank's a bit like trying on a hat. You just got to try it on and see what fits. So the line of thinking before calm and control cannot be, how could he have done that? It's unfair. You know, the instinctive reaction to an argument. But actually look at, why are we feeling that way? You know, maybe because there's love there. Maybe because I am a loving person. Whatever it is, the thought needs to be productive to create a positive emotion that opens up space for talking and listening, that allows you to get the outcome that you're looking for, that will have a positive effect on the original conflict, so that you can break the cycle. Once you've done it once, it's easier to find a solution the next time, because we're human beings and conflict will come up in relationships. So let me just leave on this. If you're looking for a resolution coming out of an argument, look at what that resolution is. Look at the outcome and focus on the outcome that you desire, not on the argument itself.